Shardul Thakur is a police officer whose widowed mother keeps bugging him to get married. Then we are introduced to Suman Singh, also known as Sumi, who is a physical education teacher and meets a woman on a lesbian dating app. This woman asks Sumi to meet her in a cafe, to which she agrees. On reaching the cafe, Sumi realizes that she had been chatting with a man masquerading all along as a lesbian. Afraid, Sumi leaves the cafe, but the man begins to stalk her. When she threatens to report him to the police, his counterthreat is to expose her as a lesbian. Fed up with his blackmail, Sumi reports it to Shardul, who happens to work in a police station largely peopled by female officers. Shardul meets Sumi and tells her that the man from the dating app has been warned. He makes a deal of marriage with Sumi while revealing that he is gay himself, and that getting married would placate both their families. Sumi accepts the deal and they get married. Uddharan. On their honeymoon, Shardul introduces his boyfriend Kabir to Sumi. After returning from the trip, Shardul and Sumi move into police quarters. Later, Sumi gets to know Rimjim, who works in a hospital. They go out on a date, where Rimjim opens up about being rejected by her family for being a lesbian. They start a relationship immediately after, and Rimjim moves into Sumi's room. Rimjim finds Sumi's passport, which had never been stamped, and Sumi confesses her desire to have a child, and says she got the passport hoping she could move abroad to adopt. When Shardul's superior's wife questions them about Rimjim, they brush it off saying that she is their cousin. When Shardul becomes suspicious that Kabir is cheating on him, he hits him. This causes Kabir to walk out on him, leaving Shardul devastated. Sometime later, Shardul is controlling a group of homophobic protesters outside a gay wedding, where Guru Narayan, a queer lawyer, sees him. He immediately takes a liking to Shardul, and slips his business card into Shardul's pocket. They begin dating shortly after, and Guru Narayan is introduced to Sumi and Rimjim. Later, Shardul and Sumi go to Shardul's home for Diwali. When questioned about her not being pregnant yet, Shardul tells his brother-in-law that Sumi is infertile, and asks him not to share it with the rest of the family. He breaks his promise and does so anyway. And Shardul's family tricks Sumi into taking a fertility test, which comes out normal. Shardul's mother moves into their quarters to make sure that they have a physical relationship. While talking about this, Sumi tells her mother-in-law that Shardul is infertile, backing this up with a falsified test from Rimjim's lab. Shardul's and Sumi's families agree that the couple should adopt a child, which leaves Sumi overjoyed. They go to an adoption agency and put in an application. Shardul's mother leaves for her home, but returns as she misses the train, only to see Sumi and Rimjim being intimate. She tells this to both the families. Shardul asks Sumi not to reveal his sexual orientation. Sumi's mother and brother admonish her, and her father silently leaves the house. Sumi follows her father and tells him she thought he was the one family member who would stand by her no matter what. Shardul's family is furious with Sumi for being a lesbian. Shardul then confesses to his family that he is gay in a show of solidarity. His mother accepts his identity, which Shardul shares with Sumi with great joy. Later, Shardul puts on a rainbow-colored mask at a pride parade, coming out to his co-workers. Sumi and Shardul decide to get divorced, but Shardul receives a message stating that their adoption application has been accepted. This makes them reconsider divorce, and they decide to remain married so that they can adopt. 1 year later, Shardul and Sumi adopt a baby and perform an adoption ritual, in which Rimjim participates as one of the parents. Shardul's superior and his wife visit their home for the ritual. Seeing them, Rimjim leaves Sumi's side. Sumi's father tells Rimjim to continue the ritual, telling her that the ritual needs the mother's presence. Shardul invites Guru Narayan to accompany him in the ritual. The superior remains confused seeing this. But the four smile as vibrantly as a rainbow.